my new album, Common Practice, is kind of a love letter to straight-ahead jazz and New York City jazz. It features Mr. Harrell on trumpet, who is a master musician of an older generation, and two contemporaries of mine, Ben Street on bass and Eric McPherson on drums. It's very hard to know why certain musicians move us so much, but I remember I was playing The Man I Love with Tom Harrell, and later on my wife told me that a woman in the front row was crying. That's something Tom has. He can reach out and touch someone and make them cry playing a ballad. There was no sheet music for this record. There was a list of songs. We play a couple of blues pieces that are not notated and never will be notated. It's a common language that the four musicians share. Common practice is a phrase that European musicians use. Something that you might say about the Western canon from 1700 to 1900. The classical style, the Baroque style, Romanticism, they all share a kind of harmonic perspective that is common practice. So these tunes we're doing with this quartet, for jazz musicians, this is common practice material. The first night I came to New York in the fall of 1991, I was an 18-year-old from Wisconsin. I'd never been to the big city, but I knew I loved jazz. And that night I went to the Village Vanguard, and there was a quintet with Joe Lovano and Tom Harrell and John Abercrombie, Rufus Reed, Ed Blackwell, playing great jazz in New York City. And just one of these unforgettable nights. And Village Vanguard's been around a long time. At first it wasn't just jazz, but since the mid-50s, it's been predominantly jazz. And at this basement spot on 7th Avenue, there have been literally dozens of fantastic canonical jazz records recorded there. Time is time. On any jazz record with swing, there's time. Again, it's very hard to say what makes some people higher level than other people. When I talk about Ben Street and Eric McPherson playing the beat together, immediately a European vocabulary isn't relevant. I start having to talk about the moon and the stars and the cycle of life. With Ben and Eric, they play so good. I'm really a lot of time just trying to stay in the middle with them. Some jazz pianists like to treat a rhythm section like they're an orchestra in a piano concerto. Give me a beat and I'm gonna go to the stratosphere of my own virtuosity. And for this record, I just want to be in the middle, just helping the thing gel right, to create a special document of this kind of playing.